Currently, the cryptocurrency market is going through a correction phase. This is a time of a lot of doubt, fear, and even a lot of posts saying that the bull run is over. Now, I'm going to talk about a lot of things in this movie. Yes, if you guys did join the live show earlier today, it will be going live again later today as well. Then you already know that a lot of this is just noise. We're starting to hear that all of this bad price movement is caused by people being afraid. A lot of it is just noise. We'll talk about that. We're going to talk about why the market is the way it is now and also talk about some old coins. Now, let's look at the daily and weekly. Yes, it's red right now. The everyday has just begun to turn green. A few of the old coins are moving around a little. It still looks like a great month. I mean, H4 is up more than 50%. XRP is up more than 30%. XDC is up more than 57%. 60% or more for XLM. The old coins still look great. Bitcoin prices are starting to move in the way I've been warning about for a while now. That's the most important thing about today. We've dropped to 113.5K and hit a new low on the chart. Let's talk about that Ethereum 3500 XRP, which is still just under $3. It costs $3.50. XLM 38 is almost 39 cents, and HBAR is about 24 cents. Most of the losses today have been small. There have been some big losses, but on a weekly basis, some of these old coins are still green. When it comes to like meme coins, there are a lot of loses every week, but let's take a closer look at this list. Most of the old coin market is still looking pretty good, even on a monthly or even longer term basis. In a sense, this is just a corrective step. We also kept an eye on stocks today. Since they fell a lot from their recent high point, they were down, and when the market closed, they were down about 3%. We really did hit that goal I was telling you about. In the midnight video from yesterday, I said that we were no longer going to about 6,500 here. We did, however, hit the red zone. And, I pretty much said that this is our next move into stocks, right? In other words, we did get that move on the SP. We sold off. Have we reached the bottom? First, it's clear that Monday will be a very important day to watch for stocks. I still believe we can reach this low range around 6,200, which would retest. It's more like 61 to 6,200, but that would be a test of the February high around 6,150. That's where I think the turnaround will happen from then on. I've seen a lot of people say things like, well, with the trade war and tariff talks, don't you think we're going to see something like this where there's a huge sell-off across the board again? Not at all. I don't think so. I believe that markets have grown up enough for people to say, listen, these tariffs and this trade war are just noise. They'll figure it out all year. These trade deals are what we've been hearing about, right? China and the US are beginning to work together. The EU already agreed to trade. They are already making a trade deal. It's been about 3 months since the last big trade deal, and the UK is now trying to make one on the same lines. Also, all of this noise about the tax talks is just noise, if we think about it that way. I think we will get through this slowdown and then have a big rise to the upside because we have live reports from CNBC right now. Trump's tariffs make the world economy even less certain. Like that, people sold their stocks, which caused everyone to sell their crypto. It was clear that crypto was going to have a drop anyway, but this certainly sped things up. It looks like we hit about $905 million in cash flows. This was the bankruptcy watch. Over $905 million washed away in the last 24 hours. I think it was a little more than $1 billion. More than 198,000 players lost more than $823 million on long positions. Now let's look at Scott Bisson's old report. In the last 2 weeks, the president has made historic progress in the United States' relationships with Japan, South Korea, and China. These events are a big step forward in our efforts to rebalance global trade and carry out President Trump's America First trade plan around the world. Yes, we do have all the important news here. Of course, you guys are welcome to go check it out if you want to. But now we know that the trade deal with South Korea will be made public on the 31st. There are some changes with China. It's clear that they haven't made a deal yet, but they are working on it. However, things are beginning to move forward in a big way. I want people to understand that when the news is full of talk about insecurity and fear levels are rising again, it's usually a good time to take a step back and appreciate what we've accomplished so far. This doesn't seem like a big deal to me, even when it comes to the whole crypto market right now. Let's go over this again and make sure everything is correct. Fear and greed down to about 51. It's great to see this. The market cap is $3.7 trillion, which isn't too crazy. I just said that in the live show. If you were there, great job. But now that we look at this, we're going back in time, right? Let's go back to September. In September, it dropped all the way to about 30 or 35 degrees, with some days being as cold as 26 degrees here. You should have bought the market at this point. We didn't even have to drop to reach these lows. It was just, giving up on time. It was pretty dull at the market. At that time, almost everyone hated XRP because we were doing what we were doing. I said that in the live show. We have been trading in a straight line until we had that huge rise to the upside. Once more, it was a great time to buy XRP and OT, her cryptocurrencies at this point in time. Also, more recently, from March to April of this year, the market finally hit bottom for both stocks and bonds. Come back to stocks. In April, we finally hit bottom. It's a great time to add SP index funds to your IRA or even buy in the SP or certain stocks. Putting money into cryptocurrency was a great time because people were feeling the least afraid. And now that we think about it, the market is beginning to move back toward neutrality. I believe we still have a little more time until we really see those low 40 levels, but once more, this is going to be a great chance. I do believe Bitcoin is almost at its lowest point. It's something I've said many times. So far, 112K is my main goal. This is how the chart looks. We have yet to see those highs tried again for May. The SP is the same, right? We still want to test those highs again, which we did back in February of this year. I think we might have to test that again before Bitcoin makes a nice comeback. Again, May is the main subject. It's likely that we'll try these lows again. We'll try to break through the 117K level again. And if we fail, we might sell off again and hit one of these big wick levels. After that, we finally get the big break back to 120K. We test that amount of resistance again from 120K. Then we finally get the big break through that 117K level of resistance, which takes us to $130,000. Would it be possible for us to lose this high and go a little lower? Yes, of course. There is always the chance that we can go a little lower. What level do I need to keep an eye on right now? That being said, there is a fair amount of support down here at about 107K. That's the next step of paying attention. It's not the worst thing ever. We will feel a little more pain if we lose 112K, which is normal in this market. It's true T10. Hatmax pain events caused a lot of damage, but that wouldn't change how people feel, which is already happening. For those of us who are bullish on the market right now, this is good news because here, liquidity will be grabbed because, as we said before, every time we sell those longs, we add more liquidity to the market. Then we can sell those shorts, which adds liquidity to the push-up. Once more, it's all about how liquid the market is. It's all a game of nerves as well. That being said, I still think 121K will hold. We need to wait and see. But besides Bitcoin, Ethereum as well. Today, a lot of people sold Ethereum. Things were a little more important. That being said, I still think that this blue zone might be aimed at Ethereum, which would be around 3,300 to 3,000 from where we are now. This $3,300 mark is only about 6% away. We could tap this all the way through and then go back to 3K. That's a 13% drop. It's not, but 3,300 is not impossible. I mean, I'm not sure if we will see that huge drop. So far, though, I'm definitely keeping an eye out for any big sudden moves back above these major support zones. Monday is when I care about stocks. Going into Monday, I'm definitely going to pay a little more attention to stocks, but these charts show things like XRP, SUI, XLM, and even HBAR. Taking a quick look, we see that there is a little more downside pressure that could be used as a goal. For XRP, I'm mostly thinking about $2.60 to $2.80. I believe this is a good place to tap into. It's possible that we hit the wick back here in December when the price was about $2.87. There's nothing too crazy there. I believe SUI is almost at its lowest point, which is why we're already trading in this area. It would be between $3.11 and $3.60. Right here at the bottom, and this is a bit low, costs $3.14. Still, a lot of these old coins look great. Many of them have already broken through their old highs. The way they're put together looks great. We're just waiting for the market to take a big jump because once more XLM is close to its bottom point or the demand zone on this chart. I think it will be 32 to 38 cents. That's already pretty close by. Then the HBAR too, anywhere from 19 to 23 cents. We could go lower, but it's not likely. And if those lows are broken, I think most of the market for old coins will be close to this point. This is especially true if we think Bitcoin will just touch 112K and stay there. We will have to wait and see what happens with stocks on Monday. Monday is going to be a very important day for us. But all in all, I think this is just one big shakeout. Even the big platforms like Binance and Coinbase were getting rid of millions of Ethereum. We have, why? Well, they pump it back up to get rid of leveraged longs after liquidation sits. All of this is